everyone, welcome to PyAI Hub. Today we are starting with something really important, variables and data types in Python. If you're a complete beginner, don't worry, I will explain everything step by step and tell you why we do each thing. Let's dive in. Now let's start with variables. What are variables? It's like a box where we store our items and we pick it whenever we need. Okay, here in this case, a variable in Python is like a box where we store information. Instead of writing the same value again and again, we store it in a variable and use it whenever we need it. Okay, let's take an example. Say we want to store a name, age, height and student status. We write, here we can see name, age, height, is student, true, all that. And I also give the comments here using hash, and here Alice is a string. We know the Alice is written in a text, and we gave number as a integer and a float. So height, we can use height as a float number, or we can call it as a decimal number. Okay, let's say like Alice is a string, it stores text, and 25 is an integer, meaning it's a whole number, and 5.3 is a float, a decimal number. True is a boolean, it represents either true or false. Okay, I think you get it, and it's a really simple concept. So we might have a question like, why do we store values in a variable? The answer is, it makes our code clean and reusable, so we can change values easily later when we need it, and Python can process and manipulate these values for us. Okay, while we do a project based on this, I will explain this once again so you will get it there. So now let's print these variables and see what's inside them. Okay, we print name, age, height, is student. And why do we use print? Did you know that? We use print to check our variables is stored correctly and to see our program. Okay, see our output of our program. So we can confirm that the variables are stored correctly and our output of our program is running well without error. Okay, but you notice something here? The print is typing or printing everything in a single line, so it is little messy, right? So let's format it neatly using an F string. Using F string, we can mention our variable names without more complicated code. Okay, here we are also using a /n, which means a new line. So each piece of information appears on a separate line. This makes our output clear and easy. It will make us to read it more comfortable. So whenever we need a new line, we use /n. Okay, we run our program and see our outputs. Now it look really well, right? We can read it in a separate lines, so it is more easy to read. Okay, so why we use new line for separate lines? We use a /n for that in Python. Okay, now let's talk about what is a string. A string is simply text in Python. We can write string using a single quote or double quotes. Both work in the same way. Okay, here we use this code, message, hello Python, print message, all this. Here our input is just hello Python, like we get Alice as the input while we use double quotes. Here we use single quotes, and we also get the same output here. Okay, here in our each code we are using the print to show you the output and how the output looks like. Okay, so now let us know what is a multi-line strings. What if we need to store a long message? We use triple quotes, like for para. We don't want to use a /n there. We can directly use triple quotes and print the message. The message will be printed with proper indentation. Okay, that's why we use triple quotes here. Okay, We can also use slash n, but we need to use everywhere. While we really want to use that slash n everywhere and complicate our codes, all that is not necessary while we use triple quotes. Okay, then we are looking string and slicing. Okay, string indexing and slicing. Here we gave a text equal to Python, and we know each letter has a number, position number, that is what we called index. P equal to 0, Y equal to 1, T equal to 2, H equal to 3, O 4, and N 5. In Python, our index start with 0. That's why we gave the value of or index of P as 0. Okay. Now let's extract each part of the string. Like if we give text in square bracket, we give 0. Then like we said, P equal to 0, then the P will be printed, and -1 shows us the last character. And while we give a colon in the middle of two numbers, here we give 0 colon 3, the third character won't be printed, but the P, Y and T will be printed. Okay, because the third character will not be calculated while we counting 0 to 3. The 3 P, Y, T. Okay. Slicing is a very useful in Python, and we will use it in our project because we need to know how to slice everything, every numbers, and taking our characters separately. Okay, we need all that, and you need to work with all this because this is something really like a tricky thing. And while we give a single colon test single colon, then our output will be Python. Okay, just Python. We will given the full test Python. Like that, you can use several examples. Just given a number called 2, there are 2 and colon, then rest of the characters will be printed. So try your own with this. Now our last topic, that is numbers in Python. Python has different types of numbers like a integer, float and a complex number. We talk about both integer and float, and let's know what is a complex number. A complex number contains a number with a character, not other than j. J is the only character we use here. Okay. If we don't know the data types or the type of the number, we just need to print it using a type method with a constructor. Okay, type bracket x, y and z, and the data type will be printed. So why do we check the type? So we know what kind of number we are working with. Okay, and different data types work different in calculations. Like float and integer, complex number won't work like what we think. If we calculate a integer and a float, the result will be a float. Okay, so we need to know what type of number we are working with. Okay, and the last thing is sometimes we want to write long comments in Python instead of using hash on every line. So here we use triple quotes, so we can use long commands without giving hash every time we pick a new line. Okay, this will help us while writing some explanations in your code. And all that for now. Today we learned variables storing information in Python, string working with text, multi-line strings storing long messages, indexing and slicing, extracting parts of text, and numbers, understanding different number types. So why is this important? Understanding these variables and data types is the foundation of Python programming. So you will use these concepts in web development, data science, AI and machine learning, game development. Oh, that's a lot. In our next section we will explore list, tuple and dictionaries. So for now, so subscribe, hit like button and stay tuned for more. See you in the next section. Bye.